I like open world games. Probably not a surprise. I also feel I have a fairly strong exploring instinct. Which is good. We all have it to a degree, and it is what's led to us being the dominant species on the planet compared to a bunch of isolated tribes. So it's done us really well. It's also what's led our previous generations of explorers to chart the globe, to know that a map doesn't have to end abruptly with here be monsters and a giant sea dragon looming. We know that that sea dragon may be, say, a giant squid, or a type of shark or whale or some such. But it has left us with not much left. We can go back to places, perhaps with better technology, to look at microorganisms that we couldn't detect, perhaps when it was first discovered. Or we can go back and see what the ecosystem's done to change. But we don't have things where, say, an expedition to Borneo, fraught with danger and peril and other buzzwords of action comics for boys. We have, it's a rainforest with orangutans. We know what's there, we know what to expect, and yes, there may be little surprises, but it's not the same as venturing into the unknown, and it's the thing that we now lack. But I feel that open world games could be the next way of furthering that, and nurturing this instinct in us. The genesis for this video is, in fact, the story of someone playing The Witcher 3 who, as far as I'm aware, has kind of ignored the story and the side quests and gone, I'm going to scour this map for all treasure. And the cynical amongst you may go, well, it's a treasure hunt then, that's not exploration. But much of early exploration was resource hunting. So treasure hunting is really resource hunting. So I'd say it's valid. And there is the added benefit where, there's two added benefits. Firstly, you're not going to get, any bizarre diseases from exploring a video game, that you've never encountered before because you haven't been there. Your character may, but you're fine. So you're safe. And, you won't be eaten to death compared to the alternative. I'm sure it's impossible. But, you won't have all of those risks. And the second benefit is people like me can do it, or people who are worse than me. People who the exertion involved in mounting a full-on expedition to some uncharted locale would be too much of an effort to justify. I can spend the time scouring Skyrim. I can venture around Tamriel at my leisure, knowing that I can put it down at any point and it's fine. I don't have to make my way back home if I suddenly feel really tired. And similar things to that. So, and I know people, with difficulties have gone on these expeditions, but obviously I'm sure they've weighed the pros and cons. I'm not saying that anyone who has any difficulty should never go on an expedition, don't get me wrong. I think we should all look at it on our own merits. But as I say, it does give a safe avenue. I mean, another block would probably be resources, which you only need a system and the game. You don't need to hire a crew, safety checks and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to do that to play a game. Because like I say, we don't have much else. And really the next big frontier is space. So, as much as I love what Elon Musk is doing and various space agencies, I don't think it's anytime soon. So for those of us who harbour that desire to explore, we use what's available. And I think that open world games are suitable. And if anything, these could be training for the space explorers of the future. The kind of people who will venture to that planet and decide whether, it's the horrible planet of giant spiders that we should never go to again. Yeah. Or, it's got a wealth of resources for us to use and for our species to prosper on a galactic and maybe even universal scale. So, yeah, I think the open world games and the exploring instincts are perhaps a match made in heaven. So until next time, as always, take care.